Hey guys, you think you can trust your eyes? Think again. Right now, as you're watching this video, your brain is lying to you about what you're seeing. Here are 7 times your visions. Number 1. The blind spot deception. You're driving down the highway, checking your mirrors like a responsible human being, and you think you've got a perfect view of everything around you. You glance left, glance right, coast is clear, time to change lanes. But here's the hidden danger. You've got a massive blind spot in each eye that's about the size of 9 full moons, and your brain is just making stuff up to fill it in. That's right, there's a huge chunk of your vision that doesn't exist, and your brain is basically photoshopping reality in real time. This happens because where your optic nerve connects to your retina, there are 0 light-detecting cells. It's like having a dead pixel the size of a dinner plate in each eye, but instead of seeing a black hole, your brain looks at what's around the blind spot and goes, probably more of the same, and fills it in. Your brain is literally guessing what's there, and sometimes it guesses wrong. This is why cars can literally vanish in your blind spot. You think you're seeing the empty road, but really your brain just copy-pasted some asphalt over a 2-ton death machine. Check your blind spots, people. Your eyes are basically running on autocomplete. Number 2. The motion after effect mind hack. You're at the mall, riding the escalator, staring down at the moving steps for what feels like forever, because your friend is taking their sweet time getting on. Finally, you look up at the stationary wall, and suddenly the whole world looks like it's melting upward like some kind of acid trip. Well, it turns out your brain has motion detectors that are basically one-trick ponies. When you stare at something moving in one direction for too long, these neurons get tired and basically throw a tantrum. They're supposed to detect motion, but they've been screaming downward motion for so long that when you look at something still, they can't shut up. So when you look at the wall, half your brain is yelling everything is moving down, while the other half is like, dude, the wall is clearly not moving. Your brain tries to split the difference and decides the wall must be moving up to cancel out the fake downward motion. It's like your visual system is having an argument with itself and you're stuck watching the show. The crazier part? This can happen with any repetitive motion. Stare at a waterfall too long, and rocks will look like they're flowing upward. Your brain isn't just unreliable, it's actively hallucinating based on whatever nonsense it was just looking at. Number 3. The peripheral vision panic. You're walking alone at night, and you swear you see something moving in the corner of your eye. You whip your head around and nothing, just a bush swaying in the wind. But for a split second, your brain was convinced there was a full-grown person lurking in your peripheral vision. But here's the real deal. Your peripheral vision is basically legally blind, and your brain is just making wild guesses about what's out there. The edges of your vision can only detect about 5% of the detail that the center can. Everything in your periphery is basically a blurry, colorless suggestion of reality. So when something moves out there, your brain goes into full panic mode and just starts filling in details based on your worst fears. A rustling leaf becomes a person, a plastic bag becomes an animal, a shadow becomes a monster. Your brain would rather scare you with a false alarm than miss a real threat, so it just assumes everything in your peripheral vision is potentially dangerous. This is why horror movies love putting scary stuff just barely in frame. Your brain can't quite make out what it is, so it automatically assumes it's the worst possible thing. Your peripheral vision isn't a security system. It's more like a paranoid neighbor who calls the cops every time a leaf falls. Number 4. The color constancy con job. You're shopping for clothes and you find the perfect shirt under the store's fluorescent lights. It's a beautiful blue that matches your eyes perfectly. You get home, put it on in natural sunlight, and suddenly it looks green. You march back to the store convinced they switched your shirt with a different one. But here's the twist. The shirt never changed color. Your brain did. What you think of as color is actually your brain's best guess about what color something should be based on the lighting conditions. Under fluorescent lights, your brain sees the blue wavelengths and thinks, ah yes, blue shirt. Under sunlight, those same wavelengths hit differently, and your brain recalibrates everything. It's like your brain has an automatic Instagram filter that's constantly adjusting colors based on the lighting. A white piece of paper looks white, whether you're outside in the sun or inside under a yellow light bulb, even though it's reflecting completely different wavelengths. Your brain is basically doing real-time color correction on everything you see. The crazy part is this happens so automatically that you never notice it's happening. Your brain is constantly lying to you about what colors actually exist, and you just go along with it. That blue shirt was never really blue. It was whatever color your brain decided it should be at any given moment. Number 5. The size constancy scam. You're looking at your friend across the room and they look like a normal-sized human being. Then you hold up your thumb and realize your thumb is literally bigger than their entire head from your perspective. But somehow your brain never got confused and thought your friend had shrunk to thumb size. Well, it turns out your brain is running some seriously complex math in the background to make sure you don't freak out every time someone walks away from you. When things get farther away, they take up less space in your vision, but your brain knows they didn't actually shrink. So it does some quick calculations based on depth cues and distance markers, and just lies to you about how big things look. This is why the moon looks huge when it's near the horizon, but tiny when it's overhead. The moon is literally the same size, but your brain sees it next to buildings and trees near the horizon and thinks, wow, that must be massive to look that big next to those reference points. When it's overhead with no reference points, your brain just shrugs and shows you the raw size. Your brain is basically running a full 3D graphics engine that automatically adjusts the size of everything you see based on how far away it thinks it is. Sometimes it gets the math wrong and you end up seeing giants and tiny people when really nothing changed except your brain's calculations. Number 6. The change blindness betrayal. You're having a conversation with someone at a coffee shop when a person carrying a large picture walks between you and blocks your view for just a second. When they pass, you continue your conversation like nothing happened. Except the person you were talking to has been completely replaced by someone else wearing different clothes, and you didn't notice. But here's the hidden truth. Your brain only pays attention to a tiny fraction of what you're looking at, and the rest is just fake confidence. You think you're seeing everything in perfect detail, but really, you're only processing whatever you're directly focusing on. Everything else is just a vague impression that your brain pretends to remember. This is called change blindness, and it's so powerful that people can fail to notice when the person they're talking to gets swapped out mid-conversation. Your brain is so focused on the conversation that it never bothered to update its mental image of who you were talking to. It's like your visual system is running on dial-up internet and can only download one thing at a time. The scary part is this happens constantly, and you never notice. People change clothes, furniture moves, entire buildings could probably be replaced. And as long as you're not directly staring at it, when it happens, your brain will just fill in the gaps with whatever it thinks was there before. Your attention is basically a tiny spotlight in a world of darkness, and everything outside that spotlight might as well not exist. Number 7. The saccadic masking time theft. You're looking in the mirror getting ready for work, and you move your eyes from looking at your left eye to your right eye. You never see your eyes moving. They just seem to teleport from position to position instantly, like you're watching a slideshow instead of smooth motion. Well, it turns out your brain is literally stealing time from you, and you don't even know it. Every time you move your eyes, which happens about 3 to 4 times per second, your brain shuts off your vision for a split second so you don't see the blurry mess of everything whizzing by. Then, it backfills that missing time with whatever you see when your eyes stop moving. This means you're essentially blind for about 40 minutes of every day, but your brain just pretends those moments never existed. It's like your brain is running a constant magic trick where it makes time disappear and then acts like nothing happened. You think you're seeing a continuous stream of reality, but really, you're seeing a highlight reel with all the boring parts edited out. The wildest part is that your brain doesn't just hide this from you. It actively lies about when things happened. If something occurs during the brief moment when your eyes are moving, your brain will timestamp it as happening after your eyes stopped, making it seem like things happened in a different order than they actually did. Your brain isn't just editing your vision, it's editing time itself. So there you have it. 7 ways your eyes are constantly lying to you, and your brain is just going along with it. Your vision isn't a camera recording reality. It's more like a really confident artist who's making it up as they go and hoping you don't notice the mistakes. If you want to watch more videos like this, subscribe to my channel. See you next time.